So good morning everybody, the classic 80s fanboy here. Now what I'm going to do today is a bit of a special thing today. As you can see, I've got all my, not all of them, but a small collection of my Arrow figures out the front here. But that's not the reason why I'm doing this video. I'm going to do something a little bit different and special today. So, as many of you aren't aware, not only do I collect classic Doctor Who stuff as well, I do have an eclectic sort of collection of other things going on as well. And one of the things I love is the DC Arrowverse, as they call it, from DC line. So what I have today is this, which is the 2-pack of Arrow and Deathstroke, or Oliver Queen and Deathstroke. Now, I've had this for a while. I've been waiting to do an unboxing for a while. I was going to do it on my new camera that I've just got, but I haven't really unboxed it yet and taken a look and set it up or anything. So this time I'm going to go back to using my phone. But as you can see, the Oliver Queen Arrow, which is there, looks very similar to that one, although there are slight differences, and I'll come to them in a while. But first, I haven't got many. We'll have a look at the packaging, but I haven't got many baddies. I've only got Malcolm Merlin and Black Canary. Well, she turned out to be a good person in the end, but she started off being bad. But we'll take a look at the packaging first. You can see it's basic packaging. DC Collectibles on the bottom left. Round, you've got the warning signs down here, and then you've got on the side Oliver Queen and Deathstroke. Some lovely, I like the packaging because it displays the figures really nicely out the window. Lovely huge window here. Look at the top, it's just got Arrow written on there. If you turn it to the side, a picture of the man himself, Stephen Amell, plays Arrow, or who played Arrow, because the seasons have now finished. So what we're going to do is open it up and take a look. So I've got my trusty knife here. Just be careful, it's a kitchen knife, so got the top. Side here. The side here. And at the back. Oh, I forgot to show the back of the packaging. Oliver Queen, Arrow, and Deathstroke. I can't recommend this show enough. I'm going to take it over to unbox it. I can't really recommend this show enough. It was the very first CW show that really stood out, and it was one of their biggest successes. Yeah. Put the box down. See, it's got a lovely backdrop. Starling City, or they called it later on Star City. We have the figures, see more clearly. He's got his original bow from Lian Yu. And Deathstroke's got his machine gun with a grenade launcher at the bottom. Pistol. A spare set of hands. He's got a huge blade. Looks like a machete, but it's not. We'll have a look at that separately. And looks like a hunting knife. Okay, so let's get them out of the box first. do Deathstroke first because he's the main character that I wanted out of this pack. So get him out. Just talk amongst yourselves. I'll be with you in a sec. There's always a packaging that's a pain. Come on. Nope, won't twist ties. I hate these things. Right, I'll do it with him in a minute. Just get his stuff out. I would do this on camera, but I'm sure you won't want me to get everything out. Make it a bit boring then, won't it? Because I'm not the greatest at getting things out of the boxes. I'm not going to bother getting his hands out. Oi. I went for a bit of a flight then, and his picture's going to go for a flight as well. Come on. There we go. So we're getting stood up. See if I can zoom in a little bit. Let me zoom in. No. I'll bring him in. Like this then. So here we are. This is Deathstroke. And as you can see, the paint is not bad. He's wearing his all black uniform. So let's get his accoutrements as well. So what does he come with? Well, first he comes with his pistol. And that fits in there. Fits nice and snugly in there. Next we have his massive blade. Look at the size of that. So that goes at the back there, just in there. So obviously pushes in there like that. And then last of all, oh, two more things to go yet. His survival knife. It's crocodile on the tin, he says, call that a knife? That's a knife. Look at the size of that. So that goes on his leg. Should fit down there. Which it does. And lastly, he's got his machine gun in a nice gold colour there, or bronze. I think it's gold. It's got a grenade launcher there. That's a grenade launcher, if you didn't know. Magazine, which doesn't come out. And pistol grip. So he's got that'll fit there. Points of articulation. His head's on a ball joint, so it can go all the way around. It is a bit stiff at the moment. Doesn't look up very high, but can look down quite a bit. His arms can go all the way around. Is that on a ball joint as well? No, they're not on a ball joint. Oh, yes they are. So it does go out. So you can get quite a range of posing. It's just a bit stiff because it's a new figure. It's got bicep twist. Okay, and he has got a joint there for his arms, but they're not very. They're pretty stiff at the moment. There, so it can bend up at 90 degrees, come back down. His wrists got twist at the wrists. No, the wrists don't move in and out. So his thighs. Oh, he's got a crunch. He has got his chest can move, although that's stiff as well. As I said, because it's a new toy or new figure, I should say, not toy. He's got thigh swivel. His legs can kick out because they're on ball joint as well. His knees. That's about as far as you can go with his knee. It's not double jointed, just looks like it is because of his knee pads, but they're not. And his feet are on a ball joint as well. They go back and forth, and they're not on a rocker. So they just go back and forth. Let's get in the stand. He looks a pretty menacing character. I like what they've done with the eyes. So I'll bring that up again. See the eyes and the eyeballs there. Okay, so these toys started off in 2015, I think. DC Collectibles. And these were the first sets to come out. 2-pack anyway. There is a slight paint and bleed in the middle, but I can live with that. Right, so I'll put him to one side. And the next one we're going to do is Oliver Queen. Get the accoutrements out. One thing I don't like about these packs are these twisty ties. They are really annoying. most of the time you struggle getting them out anyway. Come on. I should throw these twisty toes away, I don't ever keep them. What's out? And here we go. Oliver Queen. Now, stand him up like that. Let's see if he'll stand. Yeah. One thing I will say is he's not as articulated as some of the other Oliver Queens I've got, or Green Arrows. I'll stand him back next to Deathstroke so you can see him. Can you see him all right there? Let's have a look at the face. Now, I've got a slight issue with the face. And my issue is the fact that if I bring him up closer to the camera, his beard looks wonky. Focusing. His beard, see the side of his beard there? It lifts up, it's not been painted that well. His eyes seem all right, they seem okay. My other drawback is because this hood is completely rubber and it's really tough rubber. It's really hard to get his head open or his hood off. But I'll just quickly show you underneath. You can see he has got brown hair. Okay. Now this is his, I'd say this is his Series 1 stroke beginning of Series 2 costume. Yeah, as with Deathstroke, he's got a chin, he's got a chest joint there, but it is tough to move. It does move. He has got ball joints on his arms, but they're going to be stiff as well, being a new figure. So, like with Return of the Rocket Man, well, he says take a hairdryer or something to it to free up those joints to get them start moving before you over twist them and break. So he's got bends at the arms. His arms do bend. There. He has, this time he has twistable wrists and they're on a ball joint as well. So they do move in and out. Okay, that one doesn't, but the other one does. Waist. No, that's fixed. He does look like he's got movable thighs, but because they've been in a box for so long, they're not going to move at the moment. He has got bend there. Yep, now they're moving. He has got ball jointed knees, but they don't. Oh, that one's tough. As I said, it will need a bit of a hairdryer on it, so I don't move it that much. He has got swivel boots, and he has got the old jointed feet as well. So let's just put them down for a minute. So what does he come with, we may ask? Well, he's got his quiver at the back. There's his quiver. And he does come with a set of arrows. Like so. Now be very, very careful with these. I've broken many of these before. When they're separate, these ones aren't separate, so they can just fit in there like that. Let's stand him up a minute. These are what I'm talking about. See how flimsy they are? They're only resin made. So I'm not going to put them in his bow or in his hand or anything at the moment. As you can tell, they're very, very flimsy, and I'm trying at the moment to get some parts to make my own out polystyrene. But it's nice that he comes with two anyway, but they just snap so easily. You only have to drop them from a height onto a wooden floor like I do. They're on my windowsill, these figures, and sometimes the arrows can fall off the windowsill and end up on the floor. And I've got a hardwood floor, and when they drop from a certain height, they just crack and fall apart. So they're not very well made. They're very cheap, very brittle, and they just snap very easily. So I tend not to put them in the bows themselves. So we have I'll put them at the front there. His arrows there. And his bow. Well, we'll say with this bow, the problems I've been having with this bow is that this is very flimsy elastic. Yeah, and after a while, it just degrades and just ends up falling off, you know, especially around the top. So just to give an example of what I've done is take Oliver from Lian Yu in his topless mode. So in his topless mode there. I managed to get myself some 1mm elastic, and I've restrung the bow. So it's a thicker elastic, allowing it to be not degrade. And at the ends here, I've put clear nail varnish. I've put clear nail varnish on both ends, so that stops it from basically from falling off. Yeah. So once I've tied it, clear nail varnish on, snip at the end. Okay. So what I think these figures, well, I think they're actually great. I do like them. They are posable. They are hard wearing. But I can understand why they're called collector's figures and not toys, because if a child was to have these, they wouldn't last 5 minutes. There's too many small parts. And I don't know if there's is there an age limit on these? No, there's no age limit on these. 0 to 3. So 3 years upwards, basically. But I certainly wouldn't give these to a 3-year-old child. There's too many small parts, and yeah, they're liable to go missing as well. As I say, those are likely to go missing, and so are the arrows. So if you've never seen Arrow before, as I said before, I highly recommend it. For those who not are aware of the DC universe, the story basically evolves around this character here. He's called Oliver Queen. His family of billionaires, basically, and he ends up on a ship going out one night with his girlfriend's sister, because he falls in love with his girlfriend's sister and makes out with her on a boat, and the boat is destroyed and sunk, and he is marooned on an island called Lian Yu, which is the Chinese for purgatory. And he thinks he's on his own. He thinks there's no one there to help, and eventually he finds out he's not alone on the island, and that's in the very first episode. He gets captured by an ex-Chinese officer who is imprisoned on the island as well. But basically he gets taught how to use bow and arrow and fighting techniques by this Chinese person, along with the Chinese person's daughter who's there as well. And yeah, basically it's a fantastic show. It went on for 7 seasons. And Stephen Amell was the absolute right person to play the role of Oliver Queen. He was on a training schedule. He pumped his body right up. So he was as fit as he could possibly be, especially for filming. And during the show, during the just before the last season, he went on American Ninja, the show, or American Ninja Warrior, and he did the assault course there and did very well. Got through the whole lot, just to show he could do it, and he also could do the salmon ladder as well, which is an amazing feat for anybody. And he's able to do the salmon ladder. That's how fit he is. So yeah, I'd highly recommend you go and watch that. I've got the first 2 seasons on, as you see behind the main, the cast in the background, the arrows in the background. I've got the first 2 seasons on DVD and the 3rd and 4th on Blu-ray. I haven't collected all the seasons yet. I'm doing it one at a time and at the right price, because at the moment they are quite high. So I'm waiting for them to come down a bit in price now the show's over. What I will say about DC Collectibles is they went wrong for the figure on season 3. So if I bring him over, God knows what they were thinking when they did him. Because his body proportions are all out of sync. They've made him too thin. They've made his legs too long. So it just doesn't, when I compare this one with this one, there's a great difference, you know, completely different. It just doesn't look right. I'll still keep the figure though, because it is an Arrow figure, but a DC collectible. But it's Series 3, and yeah, they just went so wrong. They got the face right with the mask. I mean, the mask is good, the eyes are good, the face is good, but the body is just completely wrong proportionately. So when you've got them all together, he does look out of place. So what I will do now is put them back here. You can go with that one. Because basically they are the same. They do look slightly different, but they are the same season figure. And just before we go, I will show you this one, and I'll go into more detail in another episode, another video. But that is done by McFarlane. That's a McFarlane DC Universe Arrow. And he does look far superior than all the others, and he's more articulated too, but I will talk through that in another video, because there are some issues with this one as well. Mainly that, because it's all plastic and it just looks rubbish. It's all bent out of shape. I've put this on hot water to try and bend it back into some sort of shape. It doesn't really want to know. That's my only drawback with it, is that, because it's made out of plastic, so there's no way you can pose him in a firing pose properly. Right, so thanks for watching this video. Sorry it went on for a bit. I hope it was a little bit entertaining for you. And I just wanted to show off my part of my Arrow collection in another video. It won't be straight away, but it'll be. I'll give it a little while, and then we'll go through all the other characters I've got. But I just wanted to bring these down to give you a bit of an intro into my DC Arrowverse, as it were. So if you get the chance to watch it, it's free on Netflix. So if you're a member of Netflix, get on there. No, below that, not Netflix. Amazon Prime, that's the one. So if you're on Amazon Prime and you've got you pay for Amazon Prime, the whole series is free. Let's get yourself on there and have a look. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and please subscribe. And I look forward to seeing you on the next ones. Take care. See you later.